You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, B&B fans. It is Belynda from Soap Dirt, and I have a comings and goings update / discussion to have with you. So this recent cast photo popped up online, and it has me wondering if the CBS soap opera is quietly exiting other legacy characters in favor of newbies that a lot of people just don't even want to see. So let's talk about the fate of Don Diamont and Scott Clifton, aka Bill Spencer and Liam Spencer. But before we dig in, please click subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of our updates. So just to let you know why I'm having these thoughts in addition to this cast photo is 6 months ago, back early June 2023, I made a video asking if Krista Allen had been exited as Taylor Hayes because of her prolonged absences, particularly when storylines demanded that she be present, and yet she wasn't. And then a couple of months later, I followed up with another video talking about all the red flags that she had been fired and that Taylor was likely gone. So some other channels kind of copied my video. Some websites churned the video into blogs or outright copied them. And so there was just a whole lot of noise. There was a lot of chatter on social media. And I think we were one of the first to even suggest it. So then, in a rare move, CBS spoke out about Krista Allen's status. That was mid-September, 3 months after I posted the initial video. And I'd been constantly kind of posting receipts and talking about him in a lot of other videos to back up my theory that she had been quietly fired. CBS tried to deny it. They told Soap Hub that Krista was still on contract and was going nowhere. Well, as it turned out, that was like 90% a big fat fib. In fact, her contract had hit its anniversary date a couple of weeks after they made that statement. I am confident that they had already decided to fire her at the time they made that statement. That's my gut feeling, but they were trying to quell the fan outrage. They filmed her in a couple of more episodes, used her in the cast photo, and then told her abruptly they were not going to keep her on contract. And so the same outlet, Soap Hub, that reported that she was absolutely staying and that all this talk was spurious. Then they did this big headline, how it was shocking that she was fired. It was only a shock if you believed CBS and if you weren't actually looking at the evidence, because I don't believe CBS. They fibbed to us in spoilers. They fibbed to us in promos. And Krista was completely stunned because they used her for the annual cast photo and then abruptly fired her 2 years into her 3-year contract on one of the anniversaries of her first appearance. So obviously they are allowed to fire actors even if they are on contract, but they said she wasn't and was staying around and then fired her and then never said anything. And it was Krista herself who spoke up. To me, that's super shady. And it's just one more reason to me that you can't trust anything they say. And I say all of this because what happened to her feels like what I'm seeing going on with Don Diamont and possibly also Scott Clifton. Of course, they play father and son, Bill and Liam. Bill Spencer was last seen November 21st, 2023. He had 3 episodes at the time, but before that, it had been months. It had been September when we last saw him, so 3 months before that. I'm going to talk about it after we discuss Scott Clifton's situation, but a recent cast photo and video may also contain a huge hint about the fate of Don Diamont. So I looked back, and just off the top of your head, do you guys know how many episodes we saw Dollar Bill in this year? 74 episodes. And just so you know, depending on holidays, when they fall, there's roughly 245 to 250 episodes a year. You know, out of that, he was in 74. That's about 29% of the episodes. And that was concentrated during the stupid FBI plot where him and Ridge were playing low rent detective in the closet. That horrible plot. And then after that, really, he's been rarely seen, and especially in the last quarter or so of the year. Just so you understand the comparative math on this, Lisa Yamada, who plays Luna Nozawa, She debuted on September 13th of this year. Since then, she's been in 41 episodes out of a possible 66 episodes that aired since then. So she started in September 13th to now, 66 episodes. She's been in 41 of them. That is 62% of episodes since her debut, while we're looking at 29% for Don Diamont. Joshua Hoffman, who plays RJ Forrester, he debuted April 7th of this year and has been in about 108 out of the 182 episodes since he debuted. That is 57% of episodes. If you thought you were constantly seeing RJ and Luna, you are mathematically correct. I crunched the numbers. Meanwhile, while we've got these two at around 60% of episodes, they have sidelined Don Diamont. They have fired Krista Allen as Taylor. They quietly fired Darren Brooks as Wyatt Spencer. We only know about Krista and Darren because they spoke up and said something. And we have to ask also, where is Scott Clifton? He was last seen November 17th of this year. He was on a good bit of episodes during 2023, more than his TV dad, Don Diamont, but that's because he had the whole Thomas and Hope getting together thing, and then him, chasing Steffi storyline. But given how long it's been since we've seen either Don or Scott as Bill and Liam, you have to wonder if they are either quietly exiting these two actors and haven't mentioned it, hoping to avoid an uproar, or if they have severely backburnered them and cut their appearances. I will say this. I think it's far more likely that they would fire Don Diamont than they would Scott Clifton. Liam does have the potential for a front burner plot wrecking Steffi's marriage. Bill's not had one in a long time. They kind of touched on this thing. Maybe he is Luna's bio dad. If they link him to Luna, he might actually get some episodes because Lord knows they have her on almost all the freaking time. Aside from that, it's very concerning. Now, I looked at both Don and Scott's Instagram bios. They both list themselves as actors. They don't specifically list themselves as being on Bold and the Beautiful, but at the same time, I'm not going to say that's a sign of something because I don't recall what their bios said before. Some actors put, so-and-so on Bold and the Beautiful. Other people don't. So I won't call that a red flag just because I don't have the information, but it's not great news. And then I want to show you guys this cast and crew photo. And at the end of this video, I'll show you the little video that it came from. There is no sign in this holiday party video from the set of some key actors. There's some people missing, and it's kind of a huge deal. Scott Clifton is not in the photo. Neither is Don Diamont. Neither is Sean Kanan, who plays Deacon Sharpe, nor Kimberlin Brown, who plays Sheila Carter. You also do not see Matt Atkinson, who plays Thomas. I'll speak first to Matt Atkinson. I'm confident he's not going anywhere. I suspect he might have been off on his honeymoon with his new wife or something like that when CBS / Bold and the Beautiful hosted this party where they made the video. For the other four, which are the characters, Deacon, Sheila, Bill, and Liam, maybe they weren't on set for the party because they weren't working and didn't have any more episodes, but you think they would invite them for the party, right? All this just seems extremely suspect to me, especially after the way that they treated Darren Brooks and Krista Allen with their exits. So maybe Don Diamont has been pushed back to recurring. Maybe Scott Clifton has been sidelined as well. They could have completely abandoned the Liam messing with Steffi's marriage storyline. And if so, then Liam isn't really needed on screen. And that's what they told Krista, that Taylor just wasn't needed. Liam's got no romantic interests, and aside from pursuing Steffi, really no other plot. Don Diamont, the only chance he has at a plot is if this Poppy and Luna thing sticks around. Otherwise, he's got nothing either. And like Krista, isn't really needed for storylines, as CBS reportedly told her. As for Sheila and Deacon, I do anticipate we'll see more of them. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they had pushed them back to recurring too. What Bold seems to be doing, to my eyes, is making room for Luna and RJ. They're bringing back Xander Avant for this storyline out of left field. Meanwhile, there are fan favorites that have been on TV for years that fans love that are getting zero screen time. I don't know if Brad Bell is hoping to attract younger viewers, and that's why he's pushing RJ and Luna on us and now bringing Xander in and, beefing up Zenday's part. And it's not that any of them are bad actors. It's just they're changing the whole fabric of the show to my eyes. The core demographic of soap viewers is primarily women 50 years and up. They grew up with the soap and kept watching it as they got older. But even if they're trying to attract younger viewers, I am not thinking that a legion of teenagers are about to start watching a daytime drama that's on while they're in class during the day. And this is a generation of kids that love their streaming. They love Netflix. They love YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. They are not sitting around watching network TV. If that's what Brad Bell is after, I think he is barking up the wrong tree loudly. I am really struggling to make sense of what he's thinking and doing lately, and I'm very concerned that they're about to sideline all of your fan favorites in favor of teeny boppers that no one is invested in. Bottom line. Given that Bold essentially fibbed to fans when they said Krista was still on contract, when I'm confident they knew they were firing her, I just don't trust it. I don't trust they care about fan opinion, fan preference, fan favorites. I worry they're going to keep shedding characters and think that we're too dumb to notice what they're doing, while they then shove newbies down our throats, sideline characters you love watching and have loved for years. It doesn't make sense. All right, I'm about to show you the segment of the Christmas video so you can kind of see it. You can pause if you want to look at it. Hang tight. If you haven't already, please click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates, and let me know what you think about this. Are you going to be angry if they have either fired Don Diamont or dropped him back to recurring? What do you think? Are they about to push Scott Clifton off the front burner into recurring, or just back burner him? Are you tired of your favorites being off screen while they fill up our airtime with noobs? Let me know what you think. Get ready to watch this little short, Bold and the Beautiful video of the party. And thank you for listening. As always, this has been Belynda from Soap Dirt.
From our family to yours.
Happy holidays!
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.